Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Healing from A to Z with Masterful You and KB. I'm Chris Burke, and today we're going to be talking about abuse, healing from the trauma of abuse. And abuse can be any time that we weren't treated with kindness and respect, any time that we were told that our behavior was so unacceptable that we were to be either punished or have affection withdrawn from us. That gives us a message that being who we are, showing how we're feeling in the outside world, isn't okay. I'm not suggesting sort of free for all, but a lot of times we find out when we do something, we're told it's not acceptable in a way that suggests that we should have known ahead of time not to do that. And of course, there are a lot of really complicated human rules. It depends on who you're with and what environment you're in. So a lot of us learned the hard way, and we started to be cautious about what am I showing to the outside world. We started kind of limiting our behavior and getting smaller to avoid getting into trouble. The thing is, that's what I call the trap, because we start paying more attention to what's going on in the outside and what other people think of us, how other people see us or perceive us, instead of what's actually going on inside our own experience. And then we become lost, right? Because our minds start thinking about what it is that we think other people are perceiving of us to such a degree that we're completely distracted from the truth of the experience of what's actually going on with us. That's why the midlife crisis is so prominent in our world, because people will go along just going through the actions, like playing out, how do people see me? Am I going to get that promotion? What does my date or my spouse think about me? Going through all of that without actually thinking about, what do I think about this? What's going on inside of my experience? So we're going to change that today. We're actually going to go through a process of putting our focus back on our own experience, because that's ultimately the only thing that we can change. And it turns out that's everything. It's absolutely life-changing. So let's get started with the exercise. Step 1, write down 3 times that you remember being abused or treated unkindly or unfairly. You might remember as a child, I know we used to get spankings back in the old days. Maybe people still do. But there were times when I got spanked that actually I was accused of doing something that I did not do. That remains in my memory, right? So think of those times when you were unjustly treated, and then write down 3 times that perhaps you feel a little bit guilty or ashamed of how you treated someone else. It's important that we look at both sides of this because they're connected. All right? So there's no blame, there's no, shame. We acted out what we learned. And all of us did. And if you look at our world today, there's a lot of evidence that we need a lot of healing. That's all it is. We just need healing. We need to reconnect with the parts of ourselves that carry our wisdom, that know where we're at and know if that's okay with us. Okay. So now that you have these 3, times that you were abused, 3 times that you feel that you may have abused someone else, circle that and kind of say, this is my universe of abuse. This is what abuse means to me right now. This is what I'm healing, right? This is my association with it. And then we're going to ask ourselves, you're going to interview yourself and say, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being I can't get out of bed and 10 being I'm blissfully happy, where am I in this experience in terms of abuse? When I think about these abuse issues, where am I on that scale? Let's say you're at a 3. You're then going to say, out of 3, I think, these are the thoughts I'm thinking. I feel, these are the feelings I'm having. I say and do, right? So these are my actions. I sense in my body. So you're going to give your, drop down into your body, just mentally scan your body and say, is there any tension anywhere? Do I feel tension in my stomach or in my chest? Right? Maybe get a twinge in your back. There's a connection between our body sensations and our trauma, a very close connection. Okay, and then the last one is I know. When I am at a 3 in this experience, I know what about my abuse experience. That's the starting point. That's where you are right now. So the reason for doing all of that is we're going to refocus on our own experience, which is where the healing can actually happen. It can't happen in somebody else's perception. It has to happen inside of us. We're going to focus on that experience, and then we're going to set our intention. Where are we going? So on that compass scale, on that 1 to 10, where are you going in this process, in your healing process? I always recommend choosing like a 7 or 8, something that feels achievable. When you get there, you can always say, hey, I'm going to a 10. But don't be surprised when your 10 changes and goes way beyond what you may think is possible right now. I know that happened to me, everyone I've worked with. Okay, so let's say it is 7. We're now going to give ourselves an opportunity to kind of embody that experience. We're going to ask ourselves, when I am in an 8, I will think what? I will think, I will feel, I will say and do, I will sense in my body, right? When you do this sense in your body, really think about what's going to be different. Are you going to be lighter? Are you going to be heavier? Are you going to be more relaxed? Or are you going to be tighter, more constricted, right? Just let yourself imagine that and feel it. And then the last one, of course, is what are you going to know? When you're at that number, what are you going to know about abuse, your abuse experience? And I giggle a little bit because I think you're going to know some pretty great things about how that's falling to your past. But this is about your healing journey. After you have all of these things done, and take your time, pause the video, obviously, if you need to. Really take your time with it. Because this is about you getting reconnected with you and your own wisdom and your ability to heal yourself. It's all inside of you. You're not broken. You're just misinformed about where you get what you need. So that's what this is about. Okay, so the last step of this is that you're going to ask yourself, what do I need to know or do to get from a 3 to a whatever number you set, or whatever number you set to whatever number you set as your goal? What do I need to know or do? I like to think of it as putting the toast in. You know, the conscious mind sets direction. It decides where it wants to be, and then it asks questions because we don't have all of the information. We don't have access to all of the information. Like Freud said, the conscious mind is the tip of the iceberg. Everything else is unconscious, and we need to access all of the answers that are in the unconscious by asking questions. We set intention, we say this is the direction we want to go, and then we ask our unconscious mind, what do I need to know or do to get there? And then keep yourself open to the answers, right? So just notice all of the different ways that your subconscious mind could communicate with you. It can do it through other people. It can do it through situations. It can do it through dreams. And ideas can just pop into your mind. Everybody has different, sort of stronger modalities or ways that their subconscious communicates with them. And if you're thinking right now, what? My subconscious doesn't communicate. Think of it this way. It's like when you lose your keys or you can't remember somebody's name and you're trying to think. You're like, oh, I know, it's right there. I'm thinking. I'm actively thinking with my conscious mind. I can't get the answer because the conscious mind doesn't have it. What I have to do is actually relax my conscious mind, stop thinking about it, and we all know how this works. You stop thinking about it and boom, the answer pops in. That's when the unconscious mind can deliver. So keep yourself open to that. It's one of the reasons why really plugging into your experience creates all this space, because what are you doing? You're interviewing yourself. You're interviewing your unconscious mind and saying, hey, I know I've got all the pieces in there. Help me to connect with the ones I need right now, please. It's so key to your healing journey. Okay, if you're enjoying this process, if you're enjoying this video, please like, subscribe, share. Let's help people to get on the healing path, because when we heal, we connect with our own brilliance. We connect with, we stop being victims of other people. We start being able to make choices that lead to creating lives we love quite naturally once we get the trauma out of the way. And I understand it's not a small undertaking, but it's worth doing. And every step will change your life. You'll feel it as you go. And then you get hooked. Thanks for being here today. Thank you for sharing your healing journey with us. Remember to put the comments below and ask questions, because on Friday, my colleague and dear friend Judy and I will be going through answering your questions about your own healing journey. Feel free to share specifics or generalities, however you like, but we'd really like to support your journey. That's what we do at Masterful You. Because, I don't think you can see on the shirt, it says, I am masterful and you are too. Talk to you soon.